Hey guys, sorry it's been a minute since I put out a video, but I'm back at it and it's time to build a bed. Our mattress has been sitting on the floor for the last couple of years, as I've been meaning to build a bed for the last couple of years, but now we're doing it. Let's see what I come up with.
Okay, so I changed my mind. This slab is pretty cool, but I'm kind of not a big fan of these big camel humps on there, big camel toes. It's just a little too, so I got a couple other slabs. So I went up and I found this one. Kind of got the same Humpty Dumpties, but this top edge looks pretty cool because it's kind of straightish. It's got this little bay in here, little lagoon going on. So if I get the bark out of there, that'll actually look kind of cool. And then it flares up. Now it's kind of cut here, but I only need about 6.5 feet, which I got more than enough there. So I can cut that off. So I'm gonna cut that off. I'm gonna cut this straight on the bottom. And then I'll take it over, flatten it over on my slab flattener here, eh? Got her nice and smooth. Sanded it from 80 up to 240. There's this kind of cool little crack right here that I might put a little spline in, or maybe I'll just leave it. I don't know. The live edge is really pronounced with that little bark inclusion there. I like that. That's going to be kind of the center point. So I've got one set for the width of my mortises. All right, so I go down, do each one individually. These marking gauges, these dual marking gauges from Lee Valley, they ensure that all your joinery is going to be laid out exactly the same, right? So then I've got this one set for my away from the edge and the cheek of the mortise. Right, that's the one right there. That's the same from both ends, both edges. And then once I mark these tenons on all four ends of the end boards, then I'm going to adjust the fence so that I can mark out my center one. But I don't want to, you don't want to be changing your gauge more than you need to, because every time you do, there's an opportunity for human error, right? Not getting it back set in the exact same spot. So I mark all these outside ones first, and then I'll go and mark all the center ones. That way I'm only changing the gauge one time. So the board's 1.5 inches wide, but my tenons are only 1.25 inches wide. So I've got to do a little 1/4 inch rebate along this edge here. So I'm going to do that while I've got all this wood here still to bear the weight of the router on. So Got the little fence on here set to stop me where my shoulder is, so we just... Now that can slide along there pretty nice. If I want to loosen it, I just kind of... There we go. So that will hog out one mortise, and then I can take it like this, flip it around because it's the equal distance from the other side, and do the other mortise as well. So that'll do the two outside ones, and then I have to adjust it to line up at the center. Same process. Now the only thing left to do once I finish these mortises is just to square up the ends with the over there. Good. So I put a 3/8 round over because that matches the round corners of my housing. And I've got my little 1/2 inch dovetail there. So I drop this in, trace it on like that, pop it out. That's clean that up with the chisel. So I'm just about ready to assemble here, and I'm just dressing up the ends of these tenons with a little 1/8 round over bit here. So I'm getting the bed frame dry fit here, and because we've got this joinery, exposed joinery, every time I take the bed apart, obviously I can't glue that joint because I wouldn't be able to get this bed frame out the door. It's a king size bed. So I'm gonna have to be able to take it apart. So I'm leaving that joint unglued. And I've added this little bit of a angle here. And then I've screwed it to this piece so that it'll be permanently attached to the side. And then for here, I'm going to put in some of these threaded inserts. So I just got to drill a hole and then use the Allen key to screw those little threaded inserts into the hole. And then I will use a 1/4 inch by 3/4 inch bolt with a washer and screw those in. That way, the angle iron, see how I left a little bit of a gap here as well? So that'll keep tension on that joint so that this can't come loose here, not being glued. So because these corners aren't glued, I needed some hardware to secure them. So I picked up the angle bolts and threaded inserts at Princess Auto, and that should allow me to get these corners together and move the bed whenever needed. Right, it's time to throw a finish on there. I'm using the Odie's Super Penetrating Oil, and then I thin it down a little less than 50-50. So one part of this and then almost one part of that. And that just makes it nice and easy to brush on. Now, this is not the recommended application, but I've had great results with it. I hate having to buff it in with those little pads. It takes so long, and I find that this works just as well and is way easier to apply. So, but you're thinning the oil, so you got to do more coats with this to build up the finish. But super easy to do because you're just brushing it on and wiping it off. So. All right, we're ready to cut the slab here. This is the back side of the slab. So I drew a square mark there, and then I've angled it in about 1 inch and a bit. just to give the slab a slight taper from bottom to top. Doesn't look quite so square and modern and boring. Yeah, we're just gonna cut these up, and then I'm gonna put my French cleat on here, oil it up, hang it on the wall. I used 3-inch universal deck screws made by U2 to secure the French cleat to the studs so that the live edge slab won't come off the wall. Even if, say, something was to shake it really hard or bump up against it in, say, a natural disaster like an earthquake, these U2s will hold no matter what activities are going on in this bed. Okay. Get on this side with me.
Like that?
Push it against the wall. Voila.
There she is.
Looks good. Finger tight. Sweet. All right, well, we got the bed checked off the list. The wife is happy, which has given me the green light to go do what I enjoy doing. We got some trail cams at Cabela's a couple months ago, and I stuck them up at the top of a mountain. I'm gonna go check on them, see if I can find me a little bucky. Show me the bucky. If you like this video, guys, please give it a thumbs up, share it, do all the stuff that helps the algorithm, and comment down below with a project that you would like to see me build next. I'm thinking like dining table, maybe coffee table. I need a smaller dining table. Maybe a bench for the end of my bed there. It's kind of calling for a bench. So if there's something that you guys want to see me build, please comment down below. We'll see you in the next video, guys. Samurai out.